Hey guys, what is going on? Kevin Cage back with another cryptocurrency video. Like and subscribe if you like what you see, and let's get right into the information today. So to start things off, I am Legion. Cool diagram that he just tagged me in to remind me to take a look, and this was actually shared by Stephen Huppert, or Huppert. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. It's Huppert. So check him out. And this is hashtag digital transformation in banking. So let's check this out. So we have fintech and banking future. Right now, the current states of the banking model, all right, in the financial industry. So we have fintechs, or financial technology groups. These huge, businesses or startups are taking banks' business away by the day. They're smaller. They, are a lot more technological. They have not been around for 40 plus years, and they're faster. They're able to move faster. That's the key. So right here, fintechs are taking business, or, banks' business by the day. Banks innovate in a patchwork rather than a big sweep. They keep trying to fix problems one by one. Just think about, all the existing, businesses today that are still mostly paper and do it by paper. That transition does not happen overnight, and they usually just do it one step at a time, patchwork. When they finally are forced to, they fix it. And you might see that in the industry you're in today. Again, banks have the data, they have the information, but they do not use it efficiently. And it's very expensive and costly to actually do that. And even if they wanted to do a big sweep, it's not only going to be extremely costly, but it's going to take a lot of time as well to do it correctly. So there's opportunities now. So right now, banks, what they should do, and it's easier to say should because we're not a bank, we're not in their situation, but they should move towards an open banking model, an open landscape. Not necessarily, right now it's in a centralized system. There's intermediaries, there's a central authority making decisions. What I'm saying is, maybe not completely decentralized, but somewhere in the middle. Decentralized would mean complete, peer-to-peer, P2P economy. And then I would say somewhere in the middle where it's a little bit more distributed. All right. There's not all these walled gardens and everyone can work together a little bit better. All right. And now it's important to respond to customer needs, of course. And then banks must continuously adapt to new technology, but it's extremely, costly. And it's hard when they're already focusing on the problems they're facing today because things are moving at an ever growing rate. And the risks right now that they're facing, banks need to not only attract new customers, but retain existing customers. And the thing that's happening is they're losing existing customers by the day. And remember, statistically speaking, it's a lot more expensive to, lose an existing customer than to acquire a new one. All right, regulatory oversight can be both helpful and limiting, of course. And how can banks protect consumers' data privacy? Well, we already know what a lot of fintechs are doing, working with blockchain and DLT, and it's highly secure and scalable to grow as well, because the world is only going to move quicker, and banks just are not in the position to survive. All right, right here, just a little tweet I shared. I like this. So again, movies, Troy, and what it says is, you should get out of crypto while you can. It's too volatile. And then Brad Pitt from Troy, literally, this is why no one will remember your name. I love that movie. It's when the little boy is in the beginning of the war, and he's, this guy says something like, this Thessalonian, that Thessalonian you're fighting, he's the biggest man I've ever seen. Brad Pitt comes in and just goes, that's why no one will remember your name. And then he just destroys the guy. Very inspiring, gives me goosebumps, and hopefully you guys can kind of, relate to that. I thought it was funny and worth the share. King Solomon, thread. If people can't see what's happening by now in global finance, they are blind. This past year equals the largest mergers and acquisitions in the history in regards to finance, all surrounding digital assets, real-time gross settlements, and interoperability, along with DLT, guys. This is where we are moving. You have to pay attention to the trends. The trends are your friends, and I am capitalizing off of this. All surrounding digital assets again, guys. So if you dive enough, you'll see that it actually all connects the dots to Ripple and XRP. Why am I saying that? No, I'm not just having pure confirmation bias because I'm invested in XRP and I'm a believer. It is literally, I've looked through all the digital assets for a long time now, and nothing has the fundamentals, partnerships, and connections that the digital asset XRP has. Period. If you do the research, you're going to find out yourself. Instead of just watching YouTube videos and asking every single YouTuber to explain it in depth and detail, look at these threads and then get off of Twitter and actually look at the documents, look at the partnerships yourself. Go on LinkedIn, play around and network and figure it out because the information is right at our fingertips. It shouldn't be my job to do all the work for you. All right. Next, I am Legion. Just another thing. This was just kind of sharing Brad Kimes' video. Great guy. Check out his channel if you haven't already. I'm sure you have. He'll interact with you. He'll answer your questions. You guys can just sit back, talk about topics. And I think he's a very, very intelligent guy. All right. So right here, talking about derivatives market. So let's just be conservative here. This is representing the derivatives market. Of course, it is massive. And, Ripple right now, we're just focusing on remittance. But if we can really, get this partnership with R3 or whatever this, this rumor of acquisition, who knows? Don't spread that around. Nothing's factual yet with that. But guys, even fractions of the derivatives market in the future with Codius, the smart contract platform, implementing XRP on that for automation. Unbelievable. On the low end of the derivatives market, it is $544 trillion. The high end estimates well over $1 quadrillion. Do the math. You think 100 billion XRP is too much? False. It's never going to be enough for the actual problems that they're going to do, especially when it is involved in smart contracts and it's running with Codius. Another thing here, I Am Legion just did a great thread here with Hyperledger. We've talked about them in the past. I just want to talk about this briefly. Constellation Labs, just another use case, might see something and hear something in the future. So Constellation is a consumer and enterprise-grade distributed ledger technology that enables the world's smart devices and machines to seamlessly interact and transact. So they're literally going to, probably use smart contracts and automation as well to transact as well. So the Constellation Network is underpinned by an incentivized community portal called Orion. Just wanted to share that. We'll see if we cover this more in the future with Hyperledger. Next, talking about 2016, here's a cool thread. And I know, Joel Katz, that's his Twitter handle, but it is actually David Schwartz of Ripple, CTO, first guy that patented blockchain technology in the world in 1988, worked for the NSA, very smart guy. He literally says this. We've talked about this a few videos ago, but I want to repeat it just for the newcomers. He says, and this was back in 2017, "My dream scenario is Swift makes a deal with Ripple where all their banks get to use RippleNet for free. Maybe even paying Swift. It fits our XRP strategy perfectly." And then again, he says, "It's possible Swift doesn't really have any ability to raise money or seriously innovate, so they're vulnerable. Remember, Brad Garlinghouse said they are going to press their advantage." So there's a lot of speculation going on in this world right now. We have, all kinds of rumors going around on YouTube and Twitter. So please, be smart when you're circulating this, because it could actually be damaging for the reputation of the XRP ecosystem, all right? We can't go too crazy. We can't be messaging the founders and harassing people. Let's be adults here. There's, rumors about Bank of America, something with a big announcement coming. There's something with, this potential R3 acquisition, because we know that they were running out of funds and money in the past. We know, we're talking about the IMF or the brother version, the World Bank, and the pre-allocation theory of them actually pre-buying 50 billion plus, the 50 billion plus XRP in escrow. My advice is, let's just focus on what we can see right now. We're going to take it one day at a time through this storm, through all the negative news, all the paid shills, all the FUD in the market. Whether it's price drops, price pumps, does not matter. I'm looking long term. If the fundamentals are actually off and true bad news comes, I, without a doubt, would, personally let you guys know my thoughts. I do not have a hidden agenda. I'm here just like you guys. I want to make money. We're in this together. All right? So let's go, let's see, I feel like there's something I wanted to show. And again, we've shown this in the past with Corda, eventually with R3, option 1 XRP, option 2 Swift GPI. And the reason I want to go over this is obviously option 1 with utilizing XRP will be the cheapest, it'll be the fastest, it will be the best option for all of them, especially if a Ripple somehow acquired or really has a good partnership with R3. The reason why Swift GPI could still be listed there is because of what I've covered in the past. We need the corridors available. We need more XRapid partners in these various countries. We need regulatory clarity. Then we can have those corridors open. We can have proper market makers and liquidity providers ready to go. We need to build the liquidity over time. Once that is ready, all around the world, XRP will not only be option 1, it will be the only option, but that takes time. All right? It's not always sunshine and rainbows. It's factual. It takes time to build this type of ecosystem. Next, Backup Bradley, Brad Kimes on. You can find him on Twitter, Backup Bradley, or Investment Perspectives. Just sharing this, and I want to go over this briefly with R3. So this is an older article. Heads up, so don't be upset. But Ripple R3 settling the $1 billion blockchain dispute for how much, and just kind of going over this again for anybody that doesn't really understand what's going on with all this drama right now. And there's a few, typical lawsuits going on, just like with anybody. But cookies, okay. But so really quick, we can see this. So Ripple and R3 have been in litigation since September last year over a dispute which was worth up to $18.3 billion at its high, okay, to R3 at peak cryptocurrency valuations during that bull run. So yesterday, Ripple released a 2-sentence statement saying there was a confidential settlement. So there was a settlement between R3 and Ripple. We do not know what they agreed to. Remember, the original dispute is below. So right here, 2016, Ripple and R3 entered into an agreement where R3 would promote Ripple to its consortium of banks. Remember, 200, 300 plus partners. A lot of the board members on R3 are on Swift. That's good. And right here, the option gave R3 the right to buy 5 billion XRP at 0.0085 at any points up until September 2019. At the time of the agreement, XRP price was a little below that. But eventually Ripple came back and said, hey, we changed our mind. You know, there's things going on. I'm not really going to speak about it because I don't know. All right. So there's suing, there's countersuing, all kinds of drama. Now let's just assume that during their settlement, instead of 5 billion XRP, I'm guessing they probably may have not gotten all 5 billion. This is speculation. They may have gotten 5 billion. They may have gotten more. Let's just pretend that they only got 1 billion. That is a massive amount of XRP. R3 is still well incentivized to push this system and use it as settlement, not only for their own pockets, of course, but because it is the best product available, period. Especially as the digital asset, the XRP ledger is the best service available. There's so much going for this ecosystem. The plans have been around for a long time. All right. None of this is financial advice, just my opinion after digging down and digging in this rabbit hole for a very long time. Let me know your thoughts down below. This was kind of just a typical video, and there will be more news ahead. Excuse me. But all right, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks.